Hello, everyone. I'm Fyruz Khan, and today I'm back with a brand new class. I have a very interesting lesson designed for all the learners. So, today, before we start again, let's catch up with some formalities. You can subscribe our page, Fyruz Education Services, like our channel on YouTube, Fyruz Education Services again. If you want, you can send me friend request, Fyruz Khan, because I also, post all the live videos on my page as well. So yeah, we will wait for our students to join, and we will see if everything is fine, if you can hear me, if you can see me clearly. Okay. Yeah, everything looks good, and we will start. If you have any questions, any problem, do not hesitate to comment in the comment section. Keep it professional. This because this is about education, learning. So let's start. So today let's talk about something like this. Let's talk about this picture. So a man carrying, let's say, bamboo grass, jute grass. It may be from a small village, very small village. One person is working. So when you see this kind of person working, it instantly connects you to small businesses, micro businesses, and you will find these small and micro businesses everywhere in cities, in villages. Okay, where the business is small, the customer base is small, um, their employees are quite less, one or two. That's how it is. Um, secondly, there we go. This is someone, let's say, again, it can be a small business in a big building. It can be a small manufacturing industry. Have you seen small biscuit factories, small steel factories? Okay. You also have really small textile industries. Okay. So small industries can be found everywhere. If you look at this is a primary sector, right? More connected, more connected with the inheritance of, let's say, raw materials, okay, fish, all those stuff. And this is secondary sector, right? Machineries and industries, all those stuff. There we go. And of course, we've seen this picture in the last class. I brought this picture again to just connect back. And this is a small. This is our cultural grocery store, right? And it's there everywhere on the road corner. You just go and fetch a bread or milk or Coke, right, or eggs. It's so relatable. So you can find small businesses everywhere. You can find it in primary sector, you can find it in secondary sector, factories, industries. Okay. You can also find it. This is a service sector, tertiary or service sector. Okay. And you can find them everywhere. So small business is, it's not just confined to one specific industry. Small businesses can be found everywhere and anywhere, right? Starting from primary to secondary, small factories, industries, and even in small shops. Okay. A lot of people think that small businesses are not important. It's the big guys, it's the big businesses that are most crucial to the economy. But I disagree to it, because there are millions and billions of small businesses that make the economy. And all big businesses were small at once. Think about Apple, think about Google, think about local companies like Square or Partex. They all were small and they became big from small. Okay? Right. So when you talk about small businesses, usually they are called sole trader, okay? Where one person is the owner, sole proprietor, and it's the simplest form of business. It's the simplest form of business because it has one owner and you can employ a number of people, 9, 10, 5, 15. But it is very simple, just one owner. And you can do a lot of um, it can have a wide range of business activities. Okay, for example, it's associated with farming. This one is associated with factories, industries. This is associated with shops. Okay, service, tertiary sector. It's not just limited to one sector. It can be fishermen, farmers. Okay, it can be factories, and it can also be tertiary sector. But mostly, small businesses are found in the tertiary sector: shops, saloons, um, private tutor, coaching. Okay, so these are the web design, tutoring, hairdressing, taxi services. These are all examples of sole traders in the tertiary sector. So sole traders mostly can be found in this particular sector. Okay, so there we go. It can be found in primary or secondary, but mostly here. Um, Sole trader is very easy. It has no legal requirements. It's very easy in Bangladesh. If you want to make a business in the form of sole tradership or sole trader, uh, it's quite easy. You can just walk into the office. In 1 week, you will get your trade license, and it'll just cost you around 10,000 taka. It's so simple, but it has some legal responsibilities. You have to pay your taxes. Okay, because you as a person, you're the owner, you're the founder, you have to pay government taxes. Okay, you need a trade license. It's a book, it's like a book. And if I was in my office, I would have showed you what a trade license is. It's a book, and it tells you who the founder is, the address of your business, and it tells you other information. And every year, every business year, you need to renew your trade license. Okay, probably the time is around June, July, August. During that time in Bangladesh, you have to renew your trade license. If you want to break a wall, if you want to do something, if you want to convert a shop into a restaurant, you still need planning. You still need planning permission from the government. Okay, you must follow government rules and legislations. Paying salary to the employees, working conditions. You still follow under that criteria. Yes, there are no legal requirements, but these are the things that you have to follow: paying tax, paying government charges, having a trade license, renewing it every year. Before doing something major, you need to take planning permission. You have to be careful about working conditions, employees. So, still, these rules will apply to you. Okay, right? Great. The main thing in sole trader and even in partnership is that they have unlimited liability. Okay. Now, what unlimited liability means, I'll take you to another slide. It is very important to think about it. Let's assume that Fyruz Education Services is a sole trader or partnership. Okay, so I'm the founder, I'm the owner, Fyruz Khan, and we have unlimited liability because we're sole trader. Why? Because in sole trader, Fyruz Education Services and the founder, they're not separate. They're just one. So if anything happens to the business, I am liable. I am liable to handle that. If the business faces a loss, I have to pay from my own pocket and save the business. Because in sole trader, the business and the owner are not separate. When you pay taxes as a sole trader, the tax is done under your name. So basically, yes, Fyruz Education Services is a business, but as a founder, you are everything. Okay, so Fyruz Education Services and the founder, let's say me, Fyruz Khan, we are not separate. We don't have. Think about this term. Write it down. We don't have a separate legal identity. There is no separate legal identity. We are one. And that means unlimited liability. If anything happens to the business, I have to pay. If anything happens to me, the business is liable. It's vice versa. And that is also known as unincorporated, no legal identity. Okay, that's why sole trader and partnership are known as are considered to be unincorporated, and they have unlimited liability. But if you think about limited companies, I'm sure you did at your O levels. If you think about limited companies, private limited and public limited, let's say Fyruz Dashboard is a private limited company. Okay, so in private limited, you may have two, three owners, okay, shareholders. Let's say Fairuz Khan, Nabila Mahmood, Taib Khan. Okay, and we have limited liability, and it's an incorporated business. Why? I'll tell you. Because here, Fairuz Dashboard and we, the three owners, are separate. If anything happens to the business, we do not have to pay from our pocket. Business is business, it is separate. If anything happens to us, it does not apply to the business as well. So we have in private limited, private and public limited, you have separate legal identity. And it is an incorporated business. Incorporated business. Okay? So that's that is actually known as unlimited liability. So all sole traders, unfortunately, you have unlimited liability because you're the only single owner and you're just connected with the business. If the business fails, you have to take in charge. Okay, you may have to use your personal wealth to save the business. That is the biggest disadvantage I can think of in terms of sole traders. Otherwise, it's good. It's good. Okay, but you can always, when you start a business, you can start it small and then you can go ahead. Okay, we've talked about this. Advantages. Since you're the one owner, you keep all the profit. That's a good thing. You enjoy all the profit because you're the only person who's working very hard. Okay, the business is independent. Nobody has their control. You can do whatever you like. You can enter the office at 12 p.m. or 3 p.m., take your own decisions. You're not dependent on someone. If you have partners, you have to tell them, you have to be under them, you have to share your decisions, right? And for sole trader, the process is very simple. I told you, you just need a trade license. You can walk into Dhaka North City Corporation or whatever corporation it is that the area falls under the category. You can just walk and apply for a trade license, and it can take 1 week to 10 days. And the money is also quite affordable. Probably you have to pay around 10,000 taka, the government fees, and that's it. Okay, the business is also flexible and adaptable because it's small. You can change it. You can do a lot of things with it. Okay, it's easy. Legal requirements are quite less. That is why it's so flexible. And small businesses, think about it. Small businesses can give you personal service. Okay, so let's say you buy a suit from a very big company called Zara. Now, Zara will make one kind of suit, one fit. It fits you very good. If it doesn't fit you, then you don't have anything to do. You have to choose something else. But for small tailor businesses, you can go and you can tell them, this is how I like it. This is the fit that I like it. And they'll make it for you. So for small businesses, they will give you personal service. Okay, which is highly unlikely in terms of big businesses. So small businesses can give you personal service. For example, we are also a small business, and we do give our students, personal service. Talking to them, giving counseling sessions, personal care, one-to-one sessions, right? So yeah, and since it's small, sometimes you may qualify for government help. Okay, because you're so small. So these are the advantages of sole trader. What are the disadvantages? Let's have a look. What are the disadvantages? We've talked about this already. You have unlimited liability. If anything happens, the word liability means responsibility, unlimited responsibility. If anything happens, you are responsible for everything. You may have to sell your house, your car, your personal wealth, your personal asset. Then the second disadvantage is that you're just one person. Now you need money. You don't have a partner. If you had a partner, it was easy to raise finance. But in this case, you don't have a partner. So it's very risky. Okay. Interdependence may be burden, for example. So you're just one person. If I'm ill, let's say I'm a sole trader, if I'm ill, then who should I depend on? Because I don't have anyone. Okay, interdependence. And when it's a small business sole trader, the owners and employees, I mean, they're very less, right? You maybe five of them, six of them. You all have to work very, very hard. You may have to work long hours. When I started FES, I used to work 14, 15 hours a day, let me tell you. And all business goes through that period. Okay. And then the business is usually too small to exploit economies of scale. We've talked about this a number of times because when you produce more, the cost is less. For a small business, you can't produce more. So the cost will also be more. Okay. You can't make more items because your customer base is limited. You have limited number of customers. So therefore, you cannot enjoy economies of scale, right? You cannot offer people, offer customers products in a very good price. You will see big companies can sell products at a cheaper price because bigger companies can produce more and therefore they will enjoy economies of scale. Like Apple, they've taken out a phone which is $400. Google have released a smartphone, Google Pixel 4a, which is just $350. It is as good as an iPhone. It is as good as a Samsung phone. But how good did they do it? Because Google and Apple is a very big company. They enjoy economies of scale. They produce so much that অনেক কষ্টই কমে যায়। So ওদের কম প্রাইস ধরতে কোনো সমস্যা নেই। Okay. Um, there is, for example, let's say a company, let's say, has a restaurant, a company has a real estate agency, a school, university, this and that. Now that company tries to open a gym, let's say, in COVID-19. Now you may think of, okay, what kind of strategy is this? Because this company is trying to open a gym during COVID-19, but it doesn't matter to them because they're so big. They will enjoy economies of scale because they own everything, right? They will own their place, they will own their machines, they will own their equipments, they will have a staff, so they will enjoy economies of scale, right? And then this is a very big disadvantage. Now if anything happens to me as a sole trader, my family can't take over the business. Okay, so the business cannot be continued. It cannot be continued. You have to discontinue it. That is the biggest disadvantage of a sole trader. Okay, so these are the disadvantages. You should know in the exam, it may come advantages and disadvantages, right? We are done. Great. Next up, let's see. Oh, I have a very beautiful, very nice picture. Do you know them? Do you know them? Very successful, very, very successful people. Um, and they have changed the world in some way. So this person is Sergey Brin, okay, and this person is Larry Page. They are the founders of Google. Okay, I'll tell you a story. So Sergey Brin was at Stanford University in America, California, and he was at in grad school. And I'm not sure if I think Larry Page was, he just joined the university as a PhD candidate, and they both worked together for a while. And on the first day, they had a lot of differences, but in the next year, they started a business together. It was called back then Backrub. Okay, they started a search engine in 1995. Okay, they started together. They started a business called Backrub. Later on, the name was changed into Google. Okay, so they were partners, and I would say it's the most successful partnership I have ever seen. Together, they raised a funding of $100,000, okay, 1998, and they did quite well. So when you have a partner, the good thing is that you can share responsibility. You need to have a common view, a common approach, common sensibility, mentality. But then when you have a partner, You share responsibility, you share risks, you share losses, you share ideas, you use each other's source resources, right? It helps you in a lot of way. So they together, they formed Google. Okay. But however, partnership also has a lot of disadvantages. For example, you may have a conflict together, you may have an argument. I don't agree with you or I disagree with you, right? You may be dependent on each other, you may have control, right? You cannot enforce your own decision. So that is a big problem. Okay. Then you have to share your profits with your partner. So that is a disadvantage as well. But so far, they're still partners. So far, this is the most successful partnership, I would say, I have seen so far. Sergey Brin and Larry Page, founders of Google, which is called Backrub back then. Okay, so there you go. So my next topic is partnership. Partnership is defined as two, three, or more people who has common view of something. You share your interest, you share your sensibility, you share the same mentality. The approach that you want to take is shared. Okay, and that also means you share your profit. That's a partnership. Okay. Partnership can be seen in many professions like accountants. Let's say you want to open an accounting firm. Partnership. If you want to open a hospital, you'll see two, three doctors, four doctors together will start a hospital. State agent, two, three people again can start a state agent. Solicitors means lawyers, right? So there we go. And the having partners is good because let's say if we are three partners, I'm good at marketing, you're good at finance, she's good with building contacts. So we can use each other's advantage. Okay, we can explore our advantages and use it to our advantage. Okay, so that's partnership. But partnership has when you start a partnership, there will be a deed of partnership. একটা দলিলের মতন থাকবে a deed. I have give me 1 minute, sorry about this. I have a deed, I can show it to you. Something like this, a deed of partnership. It's done on a stamp paper, which means that you are swearing by the government and you are forming this deed. Okay, so a deed is something like this, right? And here they'll talk about how much each partner will contribute. Okay, we are starting a business. How much do we need to contribute? Let's say I'm contributing 25 lakhs. How much are you contributing? Okay, how profits will be shared among past partners. Am I getting 40%? You're getting 30%. He's getting 30%. Why? If your investment is more, then you will get more shares, more profit. If your investment is less, then less shares. Let's say if there is any case, if you want to end the partnership, then what do you do? How much control each partner has? Again, it depends on the number of share. We've talked about this in the last class. If I have 60%, that means I have more control. I will get more profit. If my brother has 30%, that means he has less control, less decision-making control, and less profit. Okay? And then if you want to take new partners, what are the rules? What are the rules you want to follow or you have to follow? So there are some requirements that you have. Then if you have any questions, please write it down in the comment section. I will answer it. By the way, there was a question yesterday. I did not answer it. I'm so sorry. I will answer it today. We were really busy. So yeah. There we go. But then this deed is mainly formed. This is also a partnership deed. This deed is mainly formed if you have some kind of problem, if you have a dispute, if you have a conflict. So go back to the deed. What is a share? How much control do you have? Who will make decisions? Everything will be laid out here. Okay, so there we go. Advantages, again, I told you it's easy to set up partnerships, sole trader. It's It's unlimited liability. It's unincorporated business. Very easy. You can walk in, do the paperwork in 7 to 10 days. The fees are less. Again, advantages that I told you, we can specialize in different things. I'm good at marketing, you're good at finance, she's good in PR, and we can use that in different ways, right? Let's say you have very good contacts in India, I have very good contacts in let's say Japan, and we can explore each other's market, we can use each other's contact. Okay, and you share the burden, you share the responsibility, because running a business is a very big uh, responsibility. Okay, and when you have more owners, when you have more people, like 3 4 owners or 3 4 partners, it's easy to raise money. For example, um, let's say we are 4 of them, let's say, and I need money to buy an AC. The AC costs 50,000, so I'll give 10,000, and the rest can give 10, 10, 10, and we can buy an AC. It's so easy. Everybody can contribute. But if it's just one owner, it's a burden. You have to pay 50,000 on your own. But if you're in the partnership business, you can just pay it from your own pocket. I mean, you can just chip in. Okay, everybody will give a little bit. Everybody will contribute, and that's it. Okay, that's advantages of partnership. But again, the disadvantages are, I told you, we've talked about this: unlimited liability. Again, in partnership as well. Okay, the business and the owners are not different; they're same. If anything happens to the business, you pay from your pocket. Your personal wealth will be at stake, will be at risk. Okay, and then of course, then you have to share the profit with partners. You may have conflicts, chagras, disagreement. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So these are the disadvantages. Okay, lastly, so it's not that you wake up from a dream and you think that, okay, I will make a limited company, I will make a public limited company, or a sole trader, or a partnership. Now these are the different forms of business: sole trader, partnership, limited companies, private and public, your franchisee, social businesses, lifestyle businesses, online businesses. So you have to think which is appropriate for you, which is more suitable for you at this point of time. And then you have to decide on the form, on the structure of the business. Okay. So today we did sole trader and partnership, which is unincorporated business, unlimited liability, low status. We did not do limited companies, but I have laid out so that you can differentiate. Limited companies, you have private and public. It's incorporated, limited liability. It has high status. Sorry, it's my mistake. It's high status. Okay. So these are the different forms, and we've done sole trade and partnership. Tomorrow in the next class, we will cover the rest. Okay. So we're done. If you have any question for me, please do not hesitate to comment on the section here, on the comment section. So today we've talked about sole traders, and they can be found in every field of the business, even if it's primary, secondary, tertiary. Okay. We've talked about them: one owner, unlimited liability, unincorporated business, no separate legal identity are the keywords. Write it down. Okay. But these are some legal obligations that you need to follow: paying tax, making trade license, taking permission from the government, following rules and legislations. We've talked about this: advantages, disadvantages. Then I've spoken about these two gentlemen, the most successful partnership in the world, one of the most successful. There we go. And they're still together. Okay. Um, and there we go. Partnership, again, it's an unlimited liability, unincorporated business, low status. Sole trader and partnership. The difference is: sole trader, one owner; in partnership you have 2 3 4 5. And we've talked about the different aspects: deed, partnership deed. You need a trade license, and you also need a deed, which will tell you about your profit, your shares, control. Advantages, disadvantages. These are the different forms of business that we have in the chapter. We've completed this too, sole trader and partnership, right? Thank you. I will take a leave. Thank you very much. I have a Zoom session with the students right now. I'll see you there. Thank you.